They are not going to throw their anti-ecos today. They threw way too many the last time we saw them, and so far, at least, after Lotus, they are 2 for 2 in terms of winning their anti-ecos. We're going to keep an eye on this as the series moves on. But Billy, do you anticipate that this 100% win rate is going to carry over to the next map?
I think so. I think their icebox looked really good, and I think, you know, we get, again, I have to bring it back to preparation and having Eng as your coach, right? And Sadak as your IGL too. Like, of course, they've actually gone and put the work in after that performance in week 1, because they probably thought that they'd be able to close that performance out last week after that very dominant first map. So, yeah, I think that we can keep an eye on it and see how they go.
2 out of 2, but is it, you know, with how the rounds
in a 13-0.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this one. I'm going to call it a little bit of a fraudulent stat. He's turning 20 on Sunday.
Oh wow! Okay, happy.
So he's definitely all too old to be in the league now. Probably will be, you know, replaced soon. No, I'm joking. But but yeah. Thinking about moving forward, and as we say, and looking at the next map, looking at something that they looked extremely comfortable in. Let's see if we see some surprises when we jump into the agent select.
Yeah, for KOI too, what are they gonna do? It's okay.
Oh.
There's so much to unpack here. We're not gonna get the Shayna, so I'm very upset about that. But what do you guys make of this comp?
Okay, so Shadows on that Killjoy, Solkas playing the Tejo. Okay, Filu on the ISO. I mean, I like it. There's a lot of initiating power versus this composition of Karma and Corp, not having that duelist starting on the attack. I want to see what kind of aggression we're going to be seeing with Movistar KOI. When we were speaking about Elite, I want to see how he deals with it.
Yeah, I think a big talking point that we've had since Tejo has been brought into the game as well is teams choosing to pair it with that breach, with that phase. And of course, we saw from Karma and Core last week that you didn't need that, right? You could pair it with this Keho. So it's really interesting to see that on Movistar KOI's side, they've also just gone, do you know what, we can run it with the Sova and it will be absolutely fine.
Yeah, exactly. And with them coming into this one, if they were forced to play the Icebox, they know that they get to choose the side. I want to see playing that double info, you know, having 2 drones. I want to see how they use them across the map, in what timings and what effect is going to have in Karma and Core, if any.
Yeah, and I want to see where Solkas is going to land in the tier list of Tejo players in this region. It will be his debut, hopefully. Pansy and Mini, this won't be another quick match.
Why have you said that? What do you mean? I'm happy with being a quick map. Look, this would be fine, okay? Maybe KOI could just come out and they like 13 to him.
That's not where you were going with that one.
What do you mean?
I don't think that's what you meant. I think
what do you mean?
Meant something different.
I don't think that's the case. We are into this. Do you subscribe to the KOI concept here with this lovely selection of agents? Just say no.
No. I don't. There's no Icebox comp in the world that anyone plays right now that I'm a massive fan on. But the ISO was something that Comet and Gorilla ran in their stint with Vitality last year.
Yep.
So I think they do have experience there. I like the Teo, I like the Killjoy. Viper, it's decent. It's a decent attempt at Icebox, I'm not gonna lie. They have lots of planted now on this defense, so it's gonna be interesting to see how Casey deal with that.
Okay. That's a fair summary. As it stands, Casey will have the door left open for them. Right, so plants come in. Lovely chip damage too, actually, I told a lie. Porcupines everywhere. A second attempt at the plant now. Lovely chip, but you can see the HP just a little down lower than they'd like, I'm sure. And Solkas, as said by the desk, rightly so. First time we get to see how he looks on that Teo.
Yeah, big KO knife there to delay the retake. There's only going to be so much time. They do have good retake util core here.
Oh, Martin even forced away. Puts a lot of pressure on Sadak playing up towards Nest. Needs to land some big boy shots. Ain't happening. Rubino getting right on back in, down to Martin. Now left in a 1v3. Didn't quite get past the second hurdle. Solkas to get the first.
Yeah, beautiful signs here from KOI. I like a team that knows that playing retake on A sometimes is a good idea. I want to be able to see those layers later on where they're going to have the ISO be more aggressive, but for a pistol round, I like it. I like that option for them.
And I do think this is a nice test as well for Casey for how well they adapt and learn on the fly, because there's quite a specific tool set when it comes to KOI and what they can do in this and where it becomes incredibly impactful and hard to deal with. So I want to see how, the likes of Sadak potentially wants to approach it, how maybe, the coaching staff decide, okay, time out here, we want to try and get this right. And for Koi, how long can they keep this going? And is there layers to it? Is there levels of adaptation, right? And what's the comfort looking like?
That's the difference here, is that KC don't have information on Koi's Icebox at all here, and the reverse is true, albeit KC won a lot on their defense. So we only saw 4 rounds. So preparation here is all quite new on this side for both teams.
Solcas, he's got a corner to play from. Thilu, yeah, holding this. This is nice. Confidence builders too. Oh, a bounding Arvez will still do some damage, but that's all it will be. 3 stay alive. A pretty clean outcome for them. They'll be happy with that. All the big weapons kept in check.
Yeah. This is big first gun round. I want to see what KC are going to do with this Omen. They had lots of cheeky ideas on the defense, and on the attack, I'm sure it's going to be the same. I think the one round we did see, they had a default where they're going to smoke long B, TP into it, and it was quite nice. So maybe something they're doing for the first gun.
No more.
This has got to feel great as well for Koi. Having a start like this, it all feels right, but you can see where the eyes are turning for KC though. It's not going to that same A site anymore. A lot of pressure on Grabino. Does need to back away from Yellow.
Yeah, KC just pushing back any kind of potential spotters on long B. And what that means is that Koi are starved of information. To get back that line is quite risky, so it's a good starting default position on Icebox.
Trying to vie for that information elsewhere. You can see the Owl drone in middle, even having a bit of a glance as well. I think it was Elite potentially. No, excuse me. Shados looking down the tube as well, just in case there was something they could gather from this. But KC now reverting to their old ways. Should have spotted at least Filu, yeah. Not sure if he was able to get Flyer as well, but still. Position noted, about 50 seconds. And it looks like KC are really trying to make this mid-round sweat.
Yeah, there's a big information game happening where we saw KC initially go towards B, the rotations happen towards B for Koi, and then we see drones on both sides of the map. It's a big chess game right now between the two teams.
As it stands, the third man is still leaning towards that B site for the defending side of Koi. Still going to keep a player here. I like this from Grabino. A little risky, but right choice. Yeah, lovely from Grabino, just threading the needle, timing right to evade the knife's connection and all the util that followed. Shados is there, but Sadak and Martin in the meantime. Oh my god, Grabino, that fell a little too far, but I guess his options were limited. But so's the time. For KC, they've got to make this count with only 9 seconds, couldn't deny it. Flyer tried to make a bit of a mad play, a mad dash for Filu.
Destabilizing.
Are you up to the challenge? Sitting pretty. Perfect HP. Sadak certainly not the case. Filu with the right call so far. Sadak's going to have to make the right choice, make the right call, make the right read. Drawn forward. Oh, Sadak! Turns around on its head. I thought Filu had that every day of the week.
Yeah, unfortunate round for Koi not to win. That would have been a great momentum going into the second map. I think one thing there's note there is that because KC didn't have that, Koi dodged that knife on Yellow. KC not having the Sova to kind of clear out Yellow, that might be something that kind of comes into play for Koi in these later rounds. Big round from Sadak.
Woo! Yeah, it's relief in that one. I think we saw obviously from Filu's side, but it certainly feels that way. It's just like that big sigh. Could have certainly sent the momentum spiraling forward. And speaking of spiraling forward, Grabino Martin, oh, he's gone back for seconds. Oh, it's messy as anything, but they win out the brawl. That felt cut short almost.
That's exactly that TP play I was talking about before, straight into that smoke. Koi not ready, it seems.
No, Shados and Flyer left with a mess in front of them. Well, they're going to need, I feel like a mistake really, Flyer trying to make something out of nothing. Two towards Yellow there. And a very disconnected Elite whose timing is going to be lovely. It's just the checkmate in case there was that eventual problem. The pressure now making it hard, but Flyer can now leave. The gateway open. They've got to save.
Yeah, just a save. Sometimes it just feels like the firepower just doesn't, isn't there sometimes. You can't always be in an advantageous position in a round.
Okay.
But, you got to win them sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm getting a bit nervous if KC continue this, because they found a solution.
The last 2 rounds felt pretty okay.
And if they're not as prepared for something that you even highlighted earlier
I
on.
thought he was dead 5 times, bro. I stopped shooting 5 times. I was like, die, just die.
Luckily, he didn't shoot back. All good. But yeah, we're going to keep those 2 saved over rifles. The ult's still there with Filu, but now this is where I turn my attention to Koi. What's their layering now? They had a good start. I liked how that felt. You know, they were kind of playing to the strong suit of this composition. I want to see layering. Now, it may not be in this round because it is a half buy. It's kind of forced around. Well, it's not even forced around. It's a couple of sheriffs, but they played in Shados, and Sadak looked lost in the source.
I think he just presumed that the Killjoy turret was there, but even if it was, that's not a safety net, so... Nice round from Koi, using the Vandals both on A and middle at the same time to try and find a pick, and they're successful in doing so.
I'm so happy to see them trying to get aggressive around it and playing it in, not just like, okay, we'll just have a Vandal. This is lovely! They're okay, well. But it was a good attempt.
That's because...
You're not going to be... Look, my curse isn't that powerful, all right? I can only cause tech pauses. I can't affect anything else. This is all I got, but...
I mean, I said I was calling out the firepower. Like that's a moment where it looks beautiful. The advantages are there, but it just slips away.
Which feels yeah. See if Shados can make something out of it, though. I don't think so. The position's seen really early, and you can see up on 410, waiting. Visugetsu. Are we going to have a bit of a Jame game? Lots of saves. Shout out to my 3 people getting the rest.
Killed my bot.
Red James still playing.
I think he fell off a little bit.
Well, and so is this even affair. It is falling off now. It is tied up, a 2-piece good start from Koi. But this slow march back from KC is looking good. Now, compliments where it's due there. Yep. Koi, I liked what they did. I liked them coming in with some intent to try and make those rifles work in this broken buy. But it will fall short. Obviously, there is just going to be the outgun eventually, obviously, from KC. They do have the better weaponry. It's fine. But I still like the concept from Koi, even catching Sadak there for a moment.
Yeah, but now we're looking at the big ults from KC's side. The Teo ult, the Killjoy ult, and even the Omen ult. I trust Eng to cook and Sadak to cook something up even with an Omen ult at times.
Which coach did you hate playing against the most?
If in early in season, against Eng is kind of annoying.
Just
because there's
quirky weirdness.
Tech, yeah.
I see.
In general, give me anyone. Give me anyone.
Not many of them. No, again, their reputation for Eng and especially with the adding of Sadak, you kind of thought that was going to be the main backbone to the style they're bringing in, but
I'm calling that here, KC are going to be drawing attention towards the B side of the map around yellow. And when we see that distraction happen, I think we're going to see the lurkers through middle under tube.
Looks like it's absolutely poised for that, doesn't it? But the read here, I don't think it's even necessarily I don't know if I'd call it a read, but oh my gosh, and the Teo actually forcing Rubino away. It feels like they're aware of this potential. I don't know if it's the right read or just the right timing for it, but they've already called off Elite and they've cleared Sugetsu. So I'm not sure what it was that gave away the game, but they seemed hyper aware of it. They weren't even playing towards yellow or front side. They were playing deep towards site itself and very cognizant of pressure coming through mid. So finally, a big advantage here for Koi. This could be huge for them playing this back in. Noting pressure on the side from Martin. Bloody hell. He's just had a barrage of utility thrown at him. Flyer, you couldn't have asked for anything easier. Martin's going to go down and leaving it to Sadak and Aves. This should be the easiest slam dunk of a round for Koi. Sadak, you're good. You ain't that good. Not going to be put off the 1v5 here. Diffuse in. And I wonder what the tell was or what the read was.
I know this sounds weird because I saw it on Lotus 2. There was like a read where I was like, how did they know that? And honestly, like, I don't think they would have scrimmed each other this part of the split. But
super aware.
That kind of stuff is sometimes an old scrim. Maybe.
That's just like in the back of their mind somewhere,
or I'm completely wrong and they just saw them at some part of the round or made noise or something.
I mean, there's always a chance. It's one way you kind of wish you had those player comps, right? Where you can be like, oh, okay, that's how they read it.
Let go be.
Again, yeah, that was fantastic handling of that split, though. And I wouldn't wouldn't say the same scenes this time. Pressure towards A very early on coming up from Koi.
Yeah, and ult's online now for Koi as well. If Robinho gets overwhelmed here, can put down this Viper's Pit. Very common on the B side of the map.
Team now maybe feeling that we aren't seeing players sit behind yellow. We're not seeing them play front sight, so it could be available.
Yeah, KC are doing a good job of being quick with his B-long default. They're getting yellow by 1 minute 10. It's beautiful. It allows Sadak, you know, to do what he wants on the map, manipulate these rotations.
We complimented Koi for how they approached this before. Now that this feels like it's an awareness that KC can figure out, because they've had no challenge to cross towards yellow. They haven't felt pressure towards this yet. They're feeling it from kind of mid-sight, maybe CT. The paranoia is spot on. Were we going to go for a TP on this? Easy target.
Fake from B.
Yeah, and it's...
phenomenal.
Oh my god, it's working. I'm pretty sure, though, Filu's heard this. Yeah, he's trying to get back over here in time, but does he try and stick around and fight, or does he fall away? He's got his ult. He's got options, but he's trying to get a little bit close to 29 seconds. This is risky, and it's not really rewarded. Filu, the only one that's trying to hold on, but traded effectively. A nice flash as well to facilitate the swing towards the back of the site. Shados can slip away, but they're trying to play ahead of this. Grubino catching two, but Sugetsu left in the 1v2. 10 seconds, no plant to be had. Oh my word, that almost actually happened.
What a shot.
Jesus, he almost had flyers.
I was about to get quite critical about Philo playing on site there, especially with the ult. Could easily have used it, got off site, shielded up, used that ult. Easy 5v4 retake, but the flood in was beautiful from Koi.
It was kind of that second string. It was like Grubino, right, who came in and pretty much, I don't want to say saved the day, but tilted the scales back on over. Here it is, coming back through. Beautiful from Grubino. This shot at the end, I'm pretty sure that's the winning kill, but the one before.
Oh my god, bro. This guy just one-tapped you like that? Holy
Yes. Yes, it was quite a nasty shot. 4-3, Koi. Forcing the timeout here from KC.
Yeah, looking good for Koi. Icebox defense is usually when you don't want the bulkier rounds. You're like struggling most of the time, so getting 4 already is good for Koi. The momentum has shifted here.
Oh, it certainly has. This little step back that they've taken, right? We've seen kind of this aggression from Koi, taking the space over towards A, willing to challenge with Filu, pushed up initially, and then we've got that more passive play towards B, sitting deeper towards the site, allowing them that space behind yellow, but really KC weren't able to manipulate too much. It felt like maybe they were with the right read on the rotation, but it was still held by Koi. It was very impressively done.
Yeah, I think it's, again, I'm just going to go back to like map theory on Icebox. Like, a lot of teams love to overhold this A site, and it sometimes just isn't holdable. And Koi again, like KC almost manipulated the rotation just a little bit to go towards B, but essentially Koi comfortable on these kind of floods and retakes.
Yeah, and it's good seeing them comfortable after map 1. That was a rough showing. Oh, shoulder check by Martin super early. Maybe, I don't want to say asleep at the wheel, but just outdone.
Just as I said, they're comfortable with the floods and retakes. We see Filu in a 1 and done. With his ult.
Oh, why do I feel like Sugetsu wins this? Yeah, he does. Okay, don't let this one go, Koi. You've got a really good step on the ladder.
Cover going out.
They're still getting pressure on A. This is hard to read. You got to look at how it's being reacted to by Shados, right? He's still trying to keep a bit of space here, but now they've cleared back through. Nice work coming in from Flyer to push back through towards A, backfilling the space and catching Martin. Now it feels readable. Obviously they're in the right place here, but can they deny the plant or do they try and slow it down and play it back in? Player disadvantage is tough. Soulcast still with that ult sitting by. Nice shot, nice follow-up. Soulcast lining up the kill feed. Shados wants in. Oh, it's not clean that time. Oh, he's making a bit of a meal of it. Arves coming alive, but Soulcast on clean-up duty. Sadak.
7.
And Flyer's positioning is surely...
Player standing.
What did I just... No, my God, what is going on?
Aspas. What's he doing?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I just saw.
One tap him.
But what have I just witnessed? God gave me eyes.
Yeah, I mean,
I
again,
chose to watch this.
It's a messy... it's a messy round. I got to criticize Koi at the start here as well. Like, they have power ults, and they're not playing rounds for them. Not using those Vipers, but not using ISO ult, not even being in positions to use the Teo ult.
God, thank God for Soulcast, though.
But yeah, when Soulcast is shooting, it's fine.
Last player standing.
Nice. Oh my god, if we lost because this guy timed me, I would have cried.
So would I.
All right. New round. I feel like I'm part of the team. Round by round, boys. Just forget about it. It's fine. It wasn't pretty from either side. I don't care which fan you are. I'm pretty sure you saw it too. But we go back in and we see a different start here. This is nice from Koi. The evolution on what we're seeing. Martin going to deal with the shield, but he ain't dealt with the player. 3 coming his way. He's got problems. He's got the paranoia, though. Can it save him? Gets out of dodge for now. Fancies to go back in, though. I thought he'd give himself a window to escape. Now he still wanted the punishment. Now
KC
down
used
to
that as
3.
a distraction to get on the A site, though. But 3v5 post, going to be difficult for them. 2v5 post, hopefully.
Right, all good, all good. Filu there starting to use the ults that we were asking for. A lot of players here. This should be comfortable. It is. Filu starting to feel a little warmer. Aves, nice try, not nice enough. Koi taking a good lead now.
Yeah, that was one of those like classic awkward KC rounds where they're doing something that's very new that not people have seen before. 2 people walking under tube, making a big distraction for people on A, but Koi handled it beautifully.
This feels like a very different Koi, very prepared Koi, kind of heads in the right place. Yeah, what a night and day difference to map 1.
Yeah, they're more composed with a composition that I would argue that if they played almost like this with the other composition, I think it would have made more sense.
Can't believe you've actually cursed the game though in the break.
I did, yeah. I said to the makeup people it was 6 maps today.
All missiles away.
I've got to fly really early tomorrow, Minnie. Could you just like...
I'm trying to curse.
What do you mean? You're cursing against me? You're like, nah.
It's going to be 6 maps.
Ult from Sadak. That's gone well. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Oh, you're not proving me wrong. Flyers having an absolute belter of a round. KC still making something out of nothing here. Soulcast, Filu, and Grubino, though. Starting to see Filu looking a little bit more confident in those previous rounds, and he does have support here as well, but he's going to be forced in. Pops the shield and gets handled. KC, what on earth? They just played that picture perfect. I can't believe, after what we just saw Flyer do, or, you know, they look so confident. Rubino, suddenly, I mean, Aves does have, Aves has his utility. Yeah, he could, surely he's just the checkmate here. Rubino's going for it though. It's the first volley coming in. The tap. And they can react now. The timing rough for Grubino. He's trying to play him, but they're not dancing to his tune. Grubino desperately tried on this one, and it just hasn't worked. KC, where's that coordination been for the previous rounds?
Yeah, quite a little bit unlucky. Their bait and switch setup completely nullified by Teo ult.
Yep.
But good discipline to they kind of froze that mid round down, realized they had the Teo ult to just clear out that space.
Oh, nice, guys.
The reactions are just the only thing that brings me joy in life anymore. 6-4. Now, Koi can't let that get to them, though, because they had been on the track of looking like the better side, at least initially on this half, and back to business. Filu once again looking to find those ways out of this, but these trades are leaving them in a bit of a tough spot here, but from afar, Flyer trying to bail them out. Good chip damage, but can't convert the kill. You're looking at Elite, you're looking at Martin, they are worse for wear.
Okay, great damage there. A bit of a mix-up with the aggression, server ult behind it. Koi looking good in this half. Like 6 already, doing this kind of round. Looking decent. Shadows does have this Killjoy ult though, and with the... I was going to say with the Hunter Sphere would be in use, but it's on the other side, never mind. They could rely on this Killjoy ult for the retake, so... You see the re-clear towards middle for Koi. They might opt to give up this A site a little bit. Disciplined by KC though. Waiting for these salvos, these refresh util.
35 seconds though.
Looking like it's going to be a brawl.
There's Filu, a little bit of uncertainty of how to evade, but it's Grubino to catch Martin. The HP was low, and it looks like he was working in the dark, but with 20 seconds, there's got to be a speed up here. Filu getting isolated fights, and really, it's Elite and Aves to try and dig in here. Aves has been not slow so far, but time is running low, 12 seconds. He's going to wait this one out here, and Elite's timing is outrageous. Perfectly played to catch the pressure onto Shados. And KC are back at the door now.
It's just another round for Koi where they're not playing around their ults. Like, they could be winning this half even more convincingly if they had used the ults more effectively. We have a Killjoy ult for a retake. No need to play on site against Teo salvos that are going to just ruin you.
But how do you kind of get that into players' heads, though? Because it is purely player call, right? Like, that's nothing as a coach you can really work on. Is it something
to drill that in every single day?
Yeah. Because, as I said, it is those choices in those moments that feel like a coin flip, but you do have to make the right call. But now, right back forward, Filu fighting. Oh, this time pathing a little different, but it's Martin to catch him. These early battles are now starting to really heftily swing over to KC's side, over towards A.
Again, I look at the Teo ult, Killjoy ult, and we're going for an aggressive play without using any of these big power ults.
And what round are you going to save him for?
Exactly.
Minis
And now
is coming out.
They get sight here, Sagetsu has Viper's Pit. It's a very tough retake then for Koi.
Shados, Soulcat, here come the ults now. Trying to stall it out is Sadak, investing the nade to come in, but Aves again. This guy has been finding impact, warming into it, dealt with. Soulcast goes down, Grubino's still trying to make it past middle. He's got to pull off a miracle here. And you noted it. The ult coming in from Sugetsu. And the information being found. A long road back. But an individual fight will certainly help matters. 3 more to locate. Hit to try and make it through. Trying to pick the right path, and there isn't really one here. Tied up in the end at 6 apiece.
Yeah, Koi will absolutely take 6 here, but honestly, they could have pushed for more.
I'm absolutely with you on that. It feels like it could have actually been a Koi lead here. Some chances missed, but KC starting to get that read right, starting to really build into this. I do only wonder how this one really shakes down. Koi with a couple of more opportunities to try and keep up, but let's hear from Sadak talking about KC's prep for stage 1 and how he's adjusting to VCT EMEA.
Preparation-wise, we are really trying to up our mental game. Of course, our strategic game, we really think like it was good, but the part that we focused a lot was on the mental stage because we have a lot of new players. We have players that this is the first time they're playing on a LAN even. So for us, it was like, okay, we really have to work on the mental side. It's been a hell of a ride, I would say, because to be honest, I came here and this is my first team I have to call in English. So everything was different for me. Like the calls, the maps, agent names, some concepts of the game changed just because of the language. So for me, it was like a really high adaptation period. It was kind of like 3 months for me. It took me a while. But overall, like I really like working with this team. Like I think I'm well respected and people are super welcoming to me and they listen to me a lot.
Yeah, well, let's triple pick. 3, 2.
Woo! Not only as an IGL, but as an experienced player, I would say, as a captain. So yeah, I mean, I like it. It's been fun.
Help but like Sadak, really. The second he joined the desk, I think, or like some of the interviews he's even given, he is a brilliant character to have. And we're hoping if KC can get back on track here, kind of prove that in the server as well. But on the other side, Koi. This is a competitive half. Now, we, again, have to remember map 1 happened. It was 13-2. It was very one-sided. This looks like a bit of a different team, really, the way they're approaching it. Confidence starting to show, some individuals turning up, and overall, a better look collectively, but the side swap puts pressure back on.
Yeah, a good half from Koi, though. They'll take 6, but the problem is that KC did win, I think it was 9 on their last defense. So KC are comfortable in this defense.
Oh, but
this
Grabino,
lurk.
this is really not...
Oh, okay.
It's recoverable. He saved it. He saved it. If we only look at the kill feed and not how it happened, it all looks fine. KOI, this is so good. But a 1v3 for Sugetsu is incredibly difficult. It feels like it was won and lost in middle there. Grabino just finding so much impact through those kills and the pressure on the back lines, trying to disrupt the post plant now. And you've got Shados, Soulcast, and Flyer. A lot of utility to potentially go through. None of them back online apart from Flyers right now. See that coming in there.
Toxin screen down.
Sugetsu, his options are looking worse and worse by the second. They're gonna toy with him. Yeah, this is one of those, unless they make a catastrophic mistake. It's not gonna happen. Beautiful from KOI. Now, I'm sure Grabino won't put it in the highlight, but it was an impact moment for him.
Yes, I think that it was a very tailor-made round for KC. Like, KOI had come in with a pistol where they understood that maybe KC's rotations, they'd leave that middle area open. And so, beautiful strat. I'm gonna, give credit to the coaches there.
You always do. Players?
Yeah.
Nah. Coaches? Well,
Yeah, it wasn't Grabino, that was all coaches right there.
you reckon?
I think so, yeah.
I reckon Grabino's gone, I've got a bit of a time in here, boys, don't worry. Just walking middle. I'm sure no one's watching. But that's huge for them. This is a really big step. They take the lead. 7-6. You've got to imagine it'll be 8-6 after this, right? They start getting back in, and this is exactly what they need. These are confidence-building rounds as well, the right reads.
And I think on the KC side, we heard Sadak talking about the mental game. Like, going down now to KOI, I want to see how they deal with that. And one thing that I think is kind of, we don't talk about very much, is that KC do have a performance coach, Mr. Ewan.
Yep.
And he worked with us in our 2023 year, so he's, pretty good guy. And I think that like highlighting those performance coaches is something we don't very much do. But I'm very interested to see how his impact is on the team, and with these, especially this young roster,
Nice for Shados, just farming up. I mean, I think they...
over the 5K.
Yeah, but it was a pistol 5K. It's all good. It's all good. He's fine. And honestly, scoreline-wise, he's having a quiet game, so it might be quite nice for the confidence to start building for Shados and early build towards ult here. The lockdown can be quite vital. For KC, looking to just get it over with. Happy. The KOI side, though. Impressions?
What was the impression of them?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
No,
in
I
general.
can't. No.
Right, okay.
It's embarrassing
Just in general, or when you do it?
when I do it.
Right, fair play. And you're right, I think it is hard to kind of figure out, though, what those sort of coaches actually do for players, and especially if we're not seeing positive results as well, and it's very hard to extrapolate that information. So something to maybe question on further. But as it stands, KOI taking the positive steps, and this bonus, hey, is pretty solid. Got Guardian out, Bulldogs.
Nice little trap play here for KC though. They've completely left the A side of the map open. KOI sense danger. Making the right read.
Fancy it. Something.
Feels very Icebox right now. Do
Do you like
I don't know how it
insight?
feels to cast. Like, this
Awful.
is the first time
I
casting
hate this map.
Icebox, but
I hate it. It's awful. You might as well just cut the map in half and then just
big
spam
drone
everything.
though here from Aves, clearing out the B side of the map. So KC are going to be ready on this A side of the map with numbers soon.
30 seconds left.
Oh, there we go. Elite is going to have to respect that, I imagine. Okay. Little shieldy wall going to go in and facilitate the push up towards the side, but the plant's certainly not on the cards just yet. There is still players. Backside wanting to try and dig their heels in. Filu removing a few, but it's going to be KC again, still trying to put up numbers. But Filu is absolutely firing on all fronts. A 1v3 for Martin. Looks out of reach. Or am I out of touch? No. Flyer is going to secure it. 9 rounds now for KOI.
I really like that exit from KOI, the shield going up the left side, and then because the composition doesn't have like a Sage or a Gecko in it, KOI need to take the deep space. So using that wall, using the salvos, using the ISO, taking that deep space, and KC's didn't seem ready for it at all.
Be still.
Something I would be writing down right there if I was saying.
On the notes.
Yep.
They'll scribble down. Don't see him writing.
Look at my orbs. I'm 0-8 and I haven't died. I haven't done anything.
Actually, he has made no progress. It's all good. You don't need your ult. You barely used it in the first half anyway. It's fine. What? As long as Soulcast hits the shots, I don't care. All right, don't you worry. No one's making frag movies and montages out of Teo ults, are we? Someone can prove me wrong. I don't think they will.
I think me and Sliggy did a clip.
Right, right. The infamous Sliggy mini duo.
Yeah.
No namers, are they? Move over
that's
floor.
True. That's true. I didn't.
Sorry, Soulcast. Sliggy and Mini
we
here.
can't aim, so we need the tail ult. That's why I'm so angry that it doesn't use it.
Okay, this, I don't want to say it's a throwaway round, but we've got sheriffs. It is the Shiko. Patented. Copyrighted. Sight.
This might be one of those classic, we'll go B on the anti-eco, make it feel like we used the B side of the map. And then secretly...
they never go B again. The players are here pretty quick. Grabino's really pushing the issue. I don't love that. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary in these sort of rounds. Okay, if Filu's going to farm, then do whatever the hell you want. But I do think it can open up problems when you can play it perfectly safe. Fortunately, as said, Filu is wanting his eco Cobra moment, and he's got it. 4 kills.
Might be something from the prep, though, with Casey having the Omen smokes. They're able to smoke the white crate quite a lot, which puts the post plant in an awkward position. So it might be something from the anti-strat where they want to push deeper on that B side of the map. I agree with you. In general, anti-eco, best not to do it. But it might just be a habit from preparation. The stress is setting in now.
Is that your kind of like, you can do a breakdown on coach cams?
Yeah, I want to do one for the desk.
Yeah?
A full
like telestrator.
I just watch pain and I just enjoy it.
You're grinning. I've never seen you smile so much.
It is beautiful watching it.
No, to be fair, my probably biggest guilty pleasure is when like Mitch and Tom get awful tech pause. And then, like, I know they've got something to do the next day, and they're grumpy. You can hear it in their voice. They're not happy. They're not happy. They're trying to make lightheartedness of it. You know what I mean? A little bit of banter. Ha ha ha. Tech pause. But like deep down, I know they're seething. And it
you
brings
just cursed it now, though, because we're gonna get a giant.
Oh, I don't care though. I don't care. No, I've been broken by this. Okay. There's no recovery for my mental. It's been gone for years. But I love seeing
people break.
Yes, yes, and then I feel better.
That's fine.
I think there is some disorders named after that. I don't think any of them are healthy.
I think both of us have that disorder.
Yes. Yes, we do. 10-6. 4 in a row. Koi, feels like we got the veto almost incorrect, you know what I mean? Like, the way this is kind of shaken down, but I guess prep is the name of the game. Being able to see the opponents coming in fresh for Koi has worked well, and Filu is having a blistering performance.
And he has an ult, and I hope he uses it.
Why would you do that? Why do that? Just go shoot him, Filu. Don't listen to Mini.
There.
Classic Icebox 1-4 here for Koi.
Actually, they might go back towards B. Go on. Weapons going towards the B side of the map? No.
Yeah, attacking A can be slightly difficult against the Omen, going through those smokes and stuff. Some teams aren't comfortable with it. We saw that last game for BBL. I would say with the double drones on the Koi side, you should be able to go through the smokes fairly easily, in my opinion.
Sugetsu. Nah. See, this was the mistake. We thought they were going towards B. No one goes B on Icebox. No one goes B on Icebox. It's only A.
But what's going on? Now they're ulting.
30 seconds left.
I can't. What's going on?
Oh.
I mean, they.
I don't know. But they're going to probably win the round. There's kind of like double pump fake, I guess. It's
15 seconds though.
I don't know if I'd support this idea. If you know, you hit the VOD review, I'm not going to love that. 9 seconds and you're just hoping no one's around. Fortunately, they pulled it off well enough. Actually, no one is.
Planted.
They're gonna have to make it work here, and Sugetsu's still strong on this, punishing that push through towards CT that we question marked before. Elite there on the clear up. That felt a little bit fumbly.
After watching that Haven, where Boaster had like those nice mid-round calls, everyone's loving it. It was almost, it was a bad impression. I feel like. I mean, that was overcooked for sure.
Oh no, absolutely.
Nice! Nice, guys. Let's go.
It was almost beautiful, but it wasn't. As well, Philo does still have his ult, just to... Instead of this beautiful mid-rounding kind of approach, just use that ult.
You could do that.
Just use that ult.
You could use the ult. They used one of the other ones. Shados used his. Didn't do much. Sugetsu. He's been feeling a little bit of pressure on him, but that knife should have caught probably, I want to say minimum 3. Again, they falling to the infamous trap of it might be B, but we know it's always going to be A.
I like you to do anti-strats. If I ever go coach again, I want you to do the anti-strats for my icebox. And it just
No
first
matter
page
what
just
happens,
says,
they're finishing A.
yeah.
That's it. That is. it's funny because it's true. Off we go. Back to the one
That was a
site.
great map when you were doing color casting.
Don't start with me. I'll start misbehaving. I can't help myself when I've had a 13-2 and I've got a site simulator. Oh, here we go. Filu still got the ult here. Still taking the space as is, as per. Not feeling necessary yet.
Where is Grabinho going?
It's you and me.
Okay, see the ult coming in.
Okay.
If the delay is good here, Grabinho is going to look like a genius.
Yeah, this actually could be really nice. Oh, God.
Maybe that's why he didn't use the ult.
Okay, Grubino, will you save us? So many ults here. So many ults. Feels almost like, I don't want to say impossible for KC, but it's so hard. Grubino's made it. He's here. He made it in time, and Koi are actually cleaning up. KC falling like flies. All the ults finally burned. They waited for the perfect moment, but they got them maybe the perfect round here. 11 looking like it's about to be etched on the scoreboard, and it is.
Yeah, memes aside, that default towards B, clearing out the space, denying the information, going back towards A, I think it's, again, like I said on the KC side, it's a good default. Grabinho's lurk, it's a good lurk. Something you rarely see. You have to be very confident that you've kind of broken all that util towards B long, which is what that default does. It's a good round from Koi.
The frustration is there. I also
know it's rough when even Aang's looking stressed.
Yeah, which doesn't normally happen.
No.
Genuinely, it isn't. He's quite a stoic character when it comes to it. So yeah, seeing him a little bit worried here as Koi are building in Martine. Ooh! That is nice. Quick hit and run. Grabino removed. But, oh, are we thinking about B?
Surely not. Hansy's low.
Oh, don't go B. Don't go B. I've told you about this. You don't go here. Oh, Shadows fight. Okay, fair play. Let's show me what this side of the map looks like. I believe we're in middle. Some might say Elite gonna take one, but it's traded out. Good spacing, but a 3v2. Still with a man advantage of KC. It's gonna be tricky to be comfortable in a post plant. They still haven't really got the spike on the site here. They still probably don't know where the site is. It's uncharted territory, this B site. So Soulcast needs to buy time and keep them secure. He spotted one for sure. Oh, Sadak just barges forward. Shados, he might get a plant. I don't know if he's going to get much more.
30 seconds left.
Oh, he might not get a plant.
Planted.
Oh, he's made it out. He's alive.
45 HP though.
And a dream. Ooh, it's all good. All good. A little bit of a moment there. That's why we don't go to B.
That's why we don't go B. That's
We don't go B.
Analysis for that round done.
It's easy
It is
being
easy.
an analyst. I don't know what the hard work is.
I think you got to say more stuff.
Oh, you're meant to say more?
Yeah, I think
right. I think we just keep it simple. Don't go B. Go A.
Correct.
Something you can occasionally
Especially
go
when you don't
mid.
have my favorite agent on this map, Sage. You can't go B.
You like Sage here?
I like Sage, sure, yeah.
You've never admitted that to me before.
Really?
Yep. Probably should.
Joking?
No, I've never heard you mention Sage in this map. Not once.
I like it.
I'm really not, but I'm horrified.
You're horrified?
Yep. Absolute bin juice. 11 to 8.
Check my win rate.
I'll look for your trophies at champs. We've got a couple of ults coming in. Elite's there. Arvis is there. Gravino's still got his. So here we go. This looks actually relatively similar to that kind of 3-2 split with that late pressure through middle that we saw KC attempt.
Yeah,
they figured it out fast.
Idea. I don't want to say what I named this strat, but I do call it Fnatic and Fnatic this one.
Oh, Elite, that's so clean. Shadow's gone, but I think he saw Grabino. I'm not sure. Maybe a little bit of consider. Wow, Zadak certainly did. We told you about this. B is cursed. It is why we only go towards A. You cannot come here.
Stopping fire.
Filu has got 4 to locate. Spike left where it is makes it even harder on this cross. Aves is watching lovely from Filu. He has been clean. I'm not going to write him off yet. Very difficult though, and that smoke. Time to get away with the spike here. A little bit of a consideration from Sugetsu to gap close on it. Now plant in. He spotted Sugetsu. Able to kind of almost feigning that fall away to side.
KC have grouped up though, all three.
Yeah, but I like what Filu's doing. Let's stick on Filu. How dare you ever pull a Prius? Thank you. Don't you get away from that one plex. What happens?
Everyone.
Yeah, because simple will happen. You don't want to have that. Sorry, observers. I love you. Oh dear. Well, the knife connecting is an issue. Oh, but that shot wasn't. Filu, are you on for an absolutely mythical moment here? The timing might have gotten away. Zadak there in the end. But that was on a real knife's edge for a moment. Diffuse comes in, but I love the attempt.
Yeah, nice attempt. KC, I like the discipline to just group up, but at a certain point, it's almost over-disciplined. Given a bit of
little bit too much room there, yeah.
Too much space.
Well, because there was that almost window of possibility when he was able to reshift towards side. But it felt like the knife hit, but maybe they weren't that comfortable because of the radius of it. Could have been somewhere else.
It's
it
okay.
Was just
this game. It's okay. We're gonna.
Tell me the rest. Tell me the rest. I want to be able to. I want to be confident too. I want to know what the solution is.
And then early in that round, we saw that split come in, and because it's almost both teams have that in their playbook, they were so ready for it. Yeah. Like that strat is nice if you've abused B, and it's like. When the noise on B happens, the other team's scared of it, but the B hasn't been working, so why would defense be scared? Surely not.
Right, guys, it's not worked at B, so they're not going to come B. The classic, we go B. It's a vintage feel.
Big ults on both sides, though, so there is a bit of a mind game between where the retakes might happen.
They try and cross back over. Martin's good for what? Ooh, the shield. I mean, Luminek, they are really playing just, I hate saying knife edge again, but it's like such fine margins they're trying to play with here.
Yeah, Killjoy turret's usually used there to stop that kind of pick. But Ferns use it on the A. Yeah, and again, these ults, it's all going to come down to these ults.
See, now look, KC know
it's you and me.
Where they need to be, right? They know. Guys, don't fall for it. Guys, don't fall for it.
They're allowed to fall for it when they can retake these ults, though, is my only thing. But post-plant ults, Viper's Pit, you see here. Now it gets a bit awkward. It's going to be a messy round.
Oh, Flyer. The util pour on then was just impossible. There was like no way in, really.
18 seconds.
I don't think they got...
It's going to be Melon's moment, potentially.
Melon's moment. Can we brand that?
10 seconds
I think
left.
Sideshow's got that one really.
Yeah, that's a... You got the Chico.
Yeah. This is a little bit more fruity, though. Melon's moment. Oof. Yeah. What? Don't judge. I'm getting called out by observers now. They're flaming back. 11 to 10, KC.
This should be simple enough.
Stalling Koi out just enough. This is 3 consecutive rounds.
Yeah, I think...
It's got to be a timeout, yeah.
There's a rule that I have on maps like this where it's like, if you're... Especially against like a Viper ult, if you're mid-rounding to the point where you've got 30 seconds left, you're running around the map, and the other team has a bunch of big ults, you're going to be in for a Melon's moment. So like, stop that mid-rounding earlier. You need to stop that mid-rounding earlier so that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it does feel like it always comes down to like about 30 seconds and then creeping towards the side. I'm like, oh my word. It does make me nervous. Rightly so. So, pause here for Koi. Maybe needing to kind of right the ship. Their frequent missions towards B, not great. I actually quite like what they were trying to do, but if you're going to do it, maybe speed it up a little earlier. But Sugetsu's been great at controlling that space and kind of calling when he needs the support on it, kind of playing it very well. But again, I do think Koi need to reevaluate how they're approaching this map at the very minimum.
I think just simplifying. I think that they're being fancy.
Yeah.
It is kind of working, but ultimately there's like bigger issues, if you know what I mean. Like, again, if you're running into a site with 25 seconds left and there's big ults on the other side, you've messed up.
Yeah. And Koi, right the ship. Here we go. They still have Soulcast with the ult. Still got a buy here. The other side, Alves has his.
Towards B with the ult this time.
Okay. Yeah, switch up. You're bang on. Sugetsu playing towards middle this time instead, I guess, with the operator. That lovely line to play off. You noted early.
This is the power of the Koi comp. They have 2 drones, so Martin's going to struggle to get work done. But a nice little reposition off the smoke.
This feels brave though, doesn't it? Because you're taking gambles here. You can't see everything. You can't see that close creep up on the lane. So Martin going to need some help here, but he's really unwilling to walk away. And I'm also keeping my mind towards Sugetsu, looking like he thought about pressuring middle, not to be though. Martin still feeling enough presence here that he doesn't want to fall off this.
I'm not sure what the next step here is for Koi.
I don't know how you clear the... Force Martin away. Do you still have util for this?
Sabos, I think they'll use behind yellow, potentially.
Maybe waiting on Flyers util this cycle up? No, he's still towards middle, okay. So yeah, they ult towards kind of mid-site. Elite's got a nice little pocket to play from though. Looking like they want to...
strat we saw before.
At the time, we wouldn't get double melons.
Back-to-back melons. You need to come, man.
It's true, I'll get fined. Never happened. Martin, ooh! Hold on, a little bit of a run here coming out from Koi. They've left it late, but they've left it just enough time. Plants in. They've made it work, but it is still the 2v3. Aves now on his own. Koi operating under so much pressure and making it count this time. And now there it is. Flyer's going to catch Aves. Koi. That felt so risky, but it works.
I think KC ran this exact same strat with a tail.
I think,
right?
I think so.
It's funny how, you know, maps develop within regions and scrims and things.
Oh, Grappino, that shot. Oh. Cool. That's how we do it. Oh.
But yeah, I'm still surprised that Koi went B again, but it worked.
Don't say that. That's why we're so confused. Where are KC? Baffled. Ugh. Good.
This time, Koi aren't conditioning B long, and so
this feels so
Viper
obvious.
has all the information over this side of the map.
Unless they're going to do a late run back, but then this also makes me feel Martin is once again playing a really high-risk game. If they've had no contact towards B long, no pressure towards middle, this is a really risky game, but it's rewarded! Aves and Martin standing shoulder to shoulder and holding back that creep, that almost contact towards a site.
1v5 for Corbino.
We're going to have a little chat after this one, Minnie, because you look happy. Rubino, there's nothing more to be done here. Aves and Martin doing really well, but it's an in-zone flawless, but it doesn't feel like a good one here. Koi, what are we up to there? What do you think? What do you think went wrong? Because it felt...
All game we've conditioned, like Koi have conditioned the B long,
yep.
Tried to push back Saigetsu, and then for some reason they don't do it, and Saigetsu's just going to stand there and know that you're not coming B. So, you know, a nice little sub there from KC, the high-low on pipes. Yep. Good kills. You know, it's not easy to do that still. If you know they're coming in, it's not as simple as just, you know, kill them.
No, exactly. That's why it got me a little bit nervous, because if it goes even slightly wrong, then you're kind of screwed and the floodgates are open. But going back to this A hit, again, no pressure down B long, no show towards B long. The knife probably connecting quite a few players as well. You can see it here, because our observers are lovely and really talented at their jobs. I like them, I promise you. So again, we're seeing that Koi are going to be noted, and this pressure is feeling almost too obvious, right? It's almost like, oh, surely they're not coming here.
This is the classic Icebox, though. Like, the obvious A isn't the worst. It's just that all that conditioning from Koi earlier could have been used.
Yeah, but they're so close here, kind of making it through from Maze. A little bit of a stall. Tap on the spike, so they know it is committed now. Aves has his ult. We've just heard Sadax coming in as well.
Nice from Koi. I think that it was very intentional there, trying to bait out the KO ult. The only thing is they don't have a cancel option. So it is a 5v5 brawl on A.
Oh, they're going it. Sadak! Sadak gets two there, does he? And Sugetsu, they retake the area around Maze. It feels like Koi thought they had that for free. Certainly not. Oh my word, KC, suddenly kicking it up again. The in-zone flawless to take us to OT.
That felt like my rank games there, just the 5v5 brawl on A.
I mean, that's just Icebox, mate.
Great read from KC.
I'm a little bit confused that Koi stopped with at least showing some presence towards B. It doesn't have to be everything. And maybe the cross in middle felt unsafe. I don't know what it is, but why would you stop at least showing some presence to create those question marks after you've been so adamant to pressure that point?
They went from going 5D chess Icebox, almost overkicking, to like, we're going into ranked 5A Icebox, which is still, you know, it's not bad, but they didn't use any of that kind of conditioning from before.
Okay, OT. And I'm worried what these last couple of rounds have done to the minds of the likes of Koi and KC. For KC, it's going to be an upward trajectory. For Koi, it's frustrating, I'm sure, after what was quite a successful run of things. Now, KC back on the attack and Koi on the defending side now.
Over there.
KC following the script of there is only one site. You better attend it.
Yeah, Saikatsu was looking at an angle in middle but got spotted out, so going to be scaling away. But yeah, classic Icebox coming in for KC. Scaling up A.
Oh no, Filu! It was just couldn't find the shot he needed, and now it's uncomfortable, but Flyer's there! Big impact kills for him, catching the cross up towards the site. Soulcast fancied to go, and it didn't go well. Now Shados, Messi, KC coming together, expecting these little plays coming through. Grubino. I mean, he's trying, but the ult's come on, so he's going to be forced forward, and Sugetsu is going to catch. 13-12, they take the lead.
Yeah, I think that round's a beautiful illustration of why I'm not annoyed when a team just sends a bunch of people A. It can still work.
Yep.
Saikatsu being the player at middle, creating a bit of a distraction. Cancel option, maybe. But yeah, beautiful scaling and trading from KC.
Your chance here. Showed us a good game. Don't let this map become a forgettable footnote. KC with the timeout. You said this before, and I think it was either map one or maybe earlier in this, but in pivotal rounds that KC do call timeouts, even if they're in the lead, they'll still try and prepare themselves for what's about to happen.
Yeah, I think in OT it changes a little bit because you're switching sides, so there's no momentum from a side, so makes sense for KC if they think they've got a read here.
Is Eng very much leading that conversation. That is not even being shared, it looks like. Looks very clear-cut on who's leading these directives.
Yeah, I think for me it would be kind of talking about, you know, the Koi have been a little bit obvious when if they do go towards the B side of the map, they are going to be playing like a 4D chess style of Icebox. If they don't, they're probably just going A.
Okay. Being ready. It's a chance for both sides, of course. This does mean Koi gets to check in as well during the timeout. It's obviously refreshed in OT. Last couple of words will be said between the two. Now it's KC. Not just map point, but series point after map one, of course, and Koi with it all to do. And I hope they feign some pressure towards B-Long and then drift back in, but
there's a trap there already.
Is actually shouldering this. We haven't seen him delve this deep, it feels like, in regulation.
Yeah, new idea from KC here. Pushing straight through. Aves, I wouldn't check him here. Be surprised if Koi do. They do have drones though.
Do they use them this early? Would they hope they get to use them a bit later?
You can hear all these footsteps as well. It's big information from Aves.
And you can see him talking away, calling this. But look who's pushed up here, Martin. confident in this positioning, poised, and MKOI none the wiser, but Flyer!
But even with this death, they might not expect
So many
yellow,
others.
and then also more coming in.
Sugetsu's been good here though. And the Aldrone doesn't clear him. Still on for this one. They're going to try and cut through towards site, but he's got a fight on his hands. Oh, it's stunning from Sugetsu. Grubino keeping some hope alive here. Teeing them up down to this 2v2. Shados and Flyer up against Aves and Elite. Top of the pack for KC. And you can see why Elite is clean with it. Flyer's gone down. It's all on Shados. In a 1v2 to keep hope and chance alive. 20 seconds. No spike to be played with. He's looking for someone, anyone to give him that moment. And the time is slipping away. He knows it. Spots one, but that's not all of the story here. He's got to commit on this plan, he knows. And actually, fortunately enough, there's a pocket. And oh, he's got a great kill. Just couldn't turn in time towards Aves. A moment almost made, but in the end, KC pushing this one over the line.
Yeah, 2-0 from KC, they're going to take that one, but after the first map, I think they were hoping for a little bit more on the second, making a statement. I think they wanted to make a statement on the second one, really.
It felt like it. And again, let's kind of then talk bigger picture here, because we said this was a very big game for both teams, for what this means. It was a competitive map too, but map one, I still can't quite ignore.
Yes.
And it worries me in the grand scheme of how this then tilts these two teams on their trajectories.
Yeah, I think in the context of this group, like, I think for KOI, there's going to be some tough matches coming up. Same for KC, but getting this one and a step towards qualification is big for them.
Yeah, spot on. And kind of walking away from this, if you're in the KC camp, what are you looking at? What's the next steps for you after seeing today's games?
I think it's just looking at the map pool specifically. Like, if Icebox is your pick map, you're expecting a little bit more there.
Yep.
I think that maybe there's a narrative around the preparation when they did a map that was prepared well and Sadak's comfortable on, it looked great. But then when they didn't have any of that prep, got prepped against a little bit.
Sure.
Like, maybe there's something there.
Okay, so still work to be done for KC, but a great map for them here and a good display to keep themselves feeling confident going forward.